I've been living in Italy for 20 years, and let me tell you, the longer I stay here in Europe, the more I realize you don't need to be rich to travel here. You just need to stop acting like a tourist, because this continent, it doesn't reward the flashy money spending. It rewards those who know the little tricks. So today, as I wander here through France, yes, I'm in Carcassone, and yes, that's a medieval castle towering over me. I'm gonna walk you through the ways tourists waste money when they're traveling through Europe and how you can avoid doing so. Oh, and later I'll share with you that number one habit I picked up in Italy that keeps me from overspending anywhere I travel. Look, it's an actual castle. I didn't have these growing up in Oklahoma. Let's talk about timing, because frankly, that's where most people blow it. You want to visit in July, August, because, well, vacation. But in those peak summer months, that's when prices explode, hotels disappear, and the pizza tastes worse. Just this morning, going through the comments section on one of my videos, leave comments, I always try to get back to your comments. A viewer said they were there in Bellagio and Lake Como, and they thought the weather would be great in the summertime. They're pre-Alps on Lake Como, why not? But it was hot. And they said if they could do it again, they would never visit Italy again in the summertime. And I don't blame them. If you do it, you gotta do it right. Go out sightseeing early in the morning. You just need to know when to travel and how to get the best out of your traveling. So, my recommendation, visit in the shoulder months. Spring, fall, you'll get better bargains, better food, more restaurants are open and welcoming you in. And you're actually able to see places like Carcassone without getting elbowed by some guy with a selfie stick. Because let's face it, Carcassone in the summertime feels like the Middle Ages, but with worse air conditioning. Accommodation. We all want that dreamy villa with a clawfoot bathtub, maybe a rustic hotel overlooking that medieval village. But those places usually come with surprise fees, mystery cleaning charges, and a credit card hangover. And don't get me started on the city taxes. So think of your accommodation as a charger for your phone. You want it to work well, but it doesn't need to be made out of marble. Pensions, guest houses, B&Bs, perfect. Let the location do the heavy lifting. As long as it's clean, calm, and there's a decent coffee shop nearby, I'm golden. Food, this is where you can really waste money on your vacation. I know, you came to Europe to eat, me too, but it's easy to fall in that trap where every dinner is a feast. 40 to 50 euro, wine pairings, dessert, coffee, digestivo liquor. Oh, I love it. Next thing you know, you're rationing crackers in the second week. I'm guilty as charged. The other day I spent 75 euro on a menu of 6 different plates. I was in this beautiful restaurant, and a 24 euro wine pairing. You gotta splurge every now and then. So here's the fix. Make lunch your main meal. You ever noticed at some restaurants that same plate of pasta will cost you 12 euro for lunch, but at dinner they're charging 35 euro. You're gonna save a lot of money, locals do it, and frankly, I think it's a bit healthier because then at night you eat a little bit less, you grab something on the go, maybe a slice of pizza from a stand or sausage if you're here in France, wander the town. You're gonna save hundreds over a vacation doing it this way. And you know what? I would rather spend 30 euro from wine that's from the source than a lukewarm steak in a tourist zone. Let's talk souvenirs. I know what you're saying, it's just a t-shirt. You want something to remember the trip. But those impulse buys add up. Magnets, mugs, and those mysterious liquors you'll never drink. So buy that one thing, just one thing that you actually love. Maybe it's a small painting from a street artist in Florence, or some lavender honey from a market in France, say here in Carcassone. Memories are free, but the clutter isn't. If your suitcase jingles when you pick it up, well, you've gone too far. My advice, find that something that you can actually use when you get back home. I always think back to that Damascus steel knife I bought at the fish market in Tokyo. It's beautiful, the way the steel folds on itself, and I sharpen it all the time, and I use it every day. I carved the date and my initials on the handle, GB 2022. One of the best souvenirs that I ever purchased. Top destinations cost top dollars. You have Rome, Paris, Barcelona on your list. Of course you do. But those cities eat wallets for breakfast. Transit's packed, hotels overpriced, and even the gelato costs more money. Don't get me started on Paris. Every time I go there, I'm always surprised. Prices are going up each year. I don't know when it's gonna stop. Every time I go back, I try to book at the same hotel, but every time I find that same double room, the price is increased by 50 euros more. So, mix the big cities with third-tier destinations. If we could even call them third tier, I think that's doing them an injustice. Go to Barcelona and Madrid, but mix those in with some off-the-track destinations. So instead of the Amalfi Coast, visit Puglia, that region down in the heel of Italy. Instead of Venice, try Trieste. I love that town, and one of my first Italian teachers was from Trieste. Her mother made homemade pasta for me one time. And instead of, well, Paris, think Carcassone. Same continent, but very different experience. Okay, so what's that one tip, that habit that I picked up in Italy that saves me money anywhere I travel? Well, wait, before we get to that, I want to let you know I have the Italy Insider e-guide that you can download, have in your pocket, on your phone, offline for when you're traveling around Italy or anywhere else in Europe. It has tips and hacks in there that you can apply to any country. Things in there like how to get to and from Italy, how to get around the country once you're there, what to see, what to do, and of course, what to eat. Or if you just want, continue watching my videos, subscribe, click the button down below. That way you're not going to miss out on any of the upcoming content, and you're helping me grow the channel, get these videos out to other food and travel lovers like ourselves. Thank you. So what's that one habit that I picked up in Italy that I apply anywhere I travel in Europe? It's just this: slow down. When you're not racing around, you spend less. You savor more. You go for that €4 plate of pasta on a plastic dish at the local market instead of the €40 tasting menu. And somehow it tastes better. Because when you're not in a rush, the world gives you discounts. Drop down in the comments, what are your tips for beating these price hikes, and how have you seen prices rise over these last years when you've been traveling? Let me know down in the comments. Do you remember earlier in the video when we talked about staying in a luxury villa? On social media now, there's this entire free travel trend. But what if I told you that entire industry is built on a myth? You're being fed bad advice just to rack up the views. So watch this video next where I break down the truth behind this free travel trend and how you can actually get around Europe without breaking your bank, without selling your soul to loyalty programs or the algorithm. Watch it here next. Now, how do I get out of this fortress?